All right, so recently I was having an issue with my 2004 Jetta TDI with a BEW engine. I was driving around, and every once in a while the brakes would just stop working, and then eventually it just had no boost at all. And those two symptoms should almost immediately point you to the vacuum system, since vacuum anti-pressure is really important for the brake booster to function. And then also the way the turbo works on these BEWs is that the variable valve is actuated with vacuum. So if both of those are giving you issues, there's a very solid chance that you have a big vacuum leak somewhere. And mine ended up being right at the main supply hose for the vacuum pump, which I'm going to show you real quick where that is. So if you're going to diagnose this, you're going to want to take off this bad boy, pull her off. So on your BEW, you're going to open your engine. It's going to give you this diagram right here. All right. So your main pump is going to be right here on the side of your engine, which is this bad boy right there. All right. And then this is your reservoir right here. All right. And so your main supply for vacuum is right there. And what you're going to want to do is take off this bad boy, your intake hose, which I will do. And through the magic of television, there she be. There's the intake hose. And if you don't have a set of these kind of pliers, you definitely want to get them for loosening these kind of hose clips. Anyways, here's your main supply for vacuum coming out of the pump. And normally this clamp is that style. But what you'll find a lot on these BEW engines, find a good place for the light for you. Like so. This connection here, this hose barb that this connects to, will be loose, and basically over time it wears out. And I've fixed it now, but you'll actually be able to, okay, I'm just gonna take that off so you can see it. Okay, there's your main nipple. So this thing, well, it is hot. But it will, before I fixed it, it was very loose. You'll see some schmoo coming out of the vacuum system. Don't really know why there's oil coming out of it, but neither here nor there. Anyways, this nipple can be really loose, which is a sign that it's really worn out. And what you're gonna wanna do, and what you'll see I did right here, is just gobsmack a lot of JB weld around that. And that'll tighten it up, seal it up, give it plenty of time to cure, and then you should be good to go. So yeah, just to give you a little rundown how it all works, this thing provides vacuum, and then the main supply hose tees off to the brake booster. That's what this big boy is. There's a check valve right here, and then this one goes to basically everything else. It starts teeing off every which way to the N75, which is for your boost control. And then it starts teeing off every which way to the reservoir, to your EGR cooling switching valve, to, actually I really don't know what else. That might basically just be all in this car. But that's the crux of it. And to diagnose that is your issue, get one of these handy dandy Mighty Vacs. available from the Harbor Freight for 30 or 40 bucks. And what you want to do is basically what this is a vacuum gauge, shows negative pressure. It gives you the ability to create negative pressure if you wanted to individually test if a various component was causing an issue, say a check valve was causing an issue, or a switch or a valve in particular was causing an issue. For this though, what you're looking to do is hook up that gauge to the system, crank the car on, and see if she's creating vacuum. So come on over here and get you a handy dandy fat piece of hose. One that'll go right onto that nipple, all right? And then this Mighty Vac kit comes with whatever that is, 3/8 inch hose, and then a bunch of adapters to be able to plug that 3/8 inch hose into what have you. So say this big fat boy, she will slide right into the end of that. And since it's vacuum, not positive pressure, it all just kind of sucks things together and it'll stay sealed. So anyways, what that would look like is, so now you got your Mighty Vac with its 3/8 ID hose hooked up through the adapter to this big boy. The big boy will fit on that nipple no problem. Well, you'll clamp it down with your little hose clamp there, your worm gear clamp, and goes turn the car on. And at least my pump, my vacuum pump, was producing between 20 and 25 negative inches of mercury. It kind of sputters all over the place because, you know, the pump is running with the engine, so every rotation of the engine is creating an instantaneous instance of vacuum, and you'll see that sputtering around. If you wanted a more what'd you call it? What's the word here, man? Why can't I think of it? You know, a smoothed out reading of the vacuum. You could come here with your Mighty Vac, take say this size adapter, unplug your vacuum pump or your vacuum reservoir, put that in there, and take the reading at the vacuum reservoir. And since, you know, this is deeper into the system and there's a number of check valves that are stopping, you know, the spurts of vacuum, you won't see the needle jumping all over the place. It doesn't jump all over the place too much, you know, it stays in that 20, 22, 25 inches mercury region, but that's basically how she goes. And well, yeah, and another thing I did was added this so-called doggy collar to this hose because it was very loose. Seems to be a slight pattern to my 199,000 mile BEW. But yeah, that's in general how the vacuum system works. It's not necessarily the most intuitive thing if you have no idea what's going on, and people talk about Mighty Vac this way and that way and every way, and you have no idea what they're talking about. It's just this little thing that lets you read vacuum and create vacuum. If you want to, you pump this and it creates vacuum, you know, when it's sealed off. So that's all it is to it.